you need in as little as 72 hours. Go to inheritanceFunding.com or call 877-YOU-AIR. That's 877-YOU-HEIR.
The Wall Street Journal this morning, weekdays 5 to 6 a.m. on Talk 910 KNEW.
The Hispanic element of this hearing is important, but I don't want it to be lost that this is mostly about liberal and conservative politics more than it is anything else. And having said that, there's some of my colleagues on the other side that voted for Judge Roberts and Alito, knowing they would not have chosen either one of those. And I will
Lindsey Graham's a consummate politician. He's on both sides of many issues. I've never really been a big fan of him, you know. But I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Hispanic element. It makes me sick. I am so sick of racial politics. I don't know about you. I'd rather hear about her judicial brilliance. A Felix Frankfurter, she isn't, that we know. We know that she got into law school because of affirmative action. We know she was made a judge because of affirmative action. We know she's been picked by Obama because of affirmative action. So in other words, we're now seeking the lowest common denominator for the highest possible positions in the land, beginning with the presidency. I mean, you want me to tell you what's going on here? That's what's going on here. The country is not being elevated by this. It's being pushed in the other direction. Affirmative action, by definition, picks people with less qualifications based upon something other than their achievements. It's based upon race or sex or gender or whatever, and has almost nothing to do with their qualifications for the position. So in other words, America is now seeking people based upon the lowest common denominator, not the highest, which is why we have Obama and why we're going to have Sotomayor. You get it? Now you understand why everything's wrong. Now you could say, well, how good was it under Bush? The answer was terrible. The answer was horrible. But at least under Bush, Michael Savage was not picked off by the British government because of the Bush administration. Under Bush, there was no sniping against people on the left or the right to knock them out of positions in sneaky ways. There are a lot of things on the Bush that I didn't like, but let me tell you something. Americans didn't feel as much fear as they do under this guy. This guy is a stealth dictator, and everybody knows it. What, because she's Hispanic, that qualifies her already? Unbelievable to me. There's an article that she's going to go back up on my website. I'm not going to bore you with reading the whole thing. It was from Family Security Matters by Lisa Richards. Thank you, Lisa. Michael Savage banned from Great Britain. His crime, speaking his mind. Read the whole article. It's unbelievable to me. Attacking Michael Savage, an assault against free speech and civil rights, putting him in the same league as Geert Wilders, who was banned from the UK for speaking out against radical Islam. Placing Savage's name in a list with murderers, making false allegations against him violates his rights, she wrote. Democrats and liberals are pushing to enact the Fairness Doctrine and ban conservative and Christian talk radio. Conservatives need to take a stand together against those absconding with America's First Amendment, she writes. Thank you, Lisa, for having the guts to step out from the pack. I appreciate it. It's now on the left side of michaelsavage.com, printed and send it around to the people. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. Pennsylvania, Larry, you are on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Your talk about your concussions to feel better just brought up back a memory of my father. I must have been 8 years old. I'll be 57 this week.
You mean what I used brings back a memory of your father? So you're saying my treatments killed him?
He had the worst cold, and he comes into the kitchen, and this is a guy who couldn't boil water. Next thing you know, he's boiling milk, cutting up onions, garlic, and throws in a stick of butter.
Well, hold it. The butter is not at all good for a cold, so let's stop right there. Milk is terrible for a cold because it produces a lot of mucus. So remember, you're talking to a man with a Ph.D. in this field. I'm not just the average schmuck in the street, and I'm not calling your father a name. The onions and garlic were good, but you missed the vitamin C, apparently. You missed the echinacea golden seal part of it, right?
But absolutely. Okay, he boils this stuff up.
Again, going on. Thank you. I don't care about a folk cure for a cold. You didn't hear me. I wasn't just the onions and garlic and the butter and the milk and throwing the cow's udder over his left arm while braying to a werewolf. I mean, for God's sakes, we're talking science here. With regard to vitamin C, echinacea, and golden seal, science. With regard to Scotch and Italian red wine is another story. I craved onions. 1-800-449-82. I knew this would happen. The minute you open the door, Michael Savage banned from Great Britain, the crime speaking his mind. Speaking his mind. You have no idea how serious this is. You haven't any idea. But I have allies over there. Jackie Smith seems to ignore the real culprits of antagonism. London's Conservative Mayor Boris Johnson declared that Parliament should defend the elementary principle of free speech, not put Michael Savage on a list with Hamas murderers and Nazis. So I want to thank all of you who've gone to my website and contributed or sent a check. I am gearing up for a major league lawsuit. I've spent a small fortune already just to get here, and I got, let's put it to you this way. So far, I got nothing out of it. I'm still on the list. She resigned, yes, but I'm still on the list. And what worries me is that I'm not off the list. What worries me is that Hillary Clinton didn't lift a finger for me. What worries me is that the Secretary of State of the United States of America has an obligation and a duty to protect American citizens falsely accused. What worries me is that I'm an innocent man falsely accused. What worries me is that there's no protection for you. If they get me, they're going to get Rush Limbaugh. They're going to get Sean Hannity. They're going to get Bill O'Reilly. They're going to get everybody on the list one after the other. The reason they picked Michael Savage is because I'm the most outspoken with zero allies outside of my own audience. Because the others won't circle their wagons for me doesn't mean that thus far we haven't won. We've won a few major points. Jackie Smith was forced to resign, largely because of her own behavior, but I was the final straw. Notice what happened. Well, the minute I went on BBC, she resigned the next day. The people saw I was not what she said I was. She was the danger, not me. So thank you for your support, ladies and gentlemen, of the Savage Nation.
Savage, the home of Michael Savage and the Savage Nation. Talk 910 KNEW and 910KNEW.com.
In the past month, many senators have asked me about my judicial philosophy. Simple. Task of a judge is not to make law.
Oh, no.
It is to apply the law.
Right, sure, okay.
And it is clear, I believe, that my record in 2 courts reflects my rigorous commitment to interpreting the Constitution according to its terms.
She's a windbag liar, in my opinion. I don't care what you think of what I just said. What, because they elevate you heard of her? 2 months ago, you never heard of her. Now suddenly she's gone already. She said to white people, drop dead. Based on race, you're not getting anywhere. What do you want to cover this up? Now she's already playing Miss Moderate. The task of a judge is not to make law. It is to apply the law. And my record shows my rigorous attempt to wreck the Constitution according to my terms, is what she should have said. You forgot already the fireman decision that was just overturned by the whole Supreme Court? She is not qualified. This is a repeat of Ruth Bader Ginsburg all over again, with the same Republican types, once again ushering in a radical extremist. However, as I said at the beginning of the show, she may be the least extreme of the extremists that Obama could have picked. How do you like that? You expect them to pick a centrist? So forget about it. It's a waste of time, the whole thing. It's a rubber stamp job. You may as well be living in Bolivia in the 1950s, where they pick a judge from wherever they want. What are you talking about? A judge? She's a judge like you're a judge. In my day, this woman wouldn't have been a judge, a district judge. But because America has become a different world today than the day I grew up. And remember, I'm the son of an immigrant. But I wasn't told that because you're the son of an immigrant, they're going to lay down for you and give you they're going to grease the skids. In fact, the opposite was true. They said to me, because you're the son of an immigrant, you're going to have to work 10 times harder to get anywhere. Because you are the son of an immigrant, people are going to mock you. They're going to push you down. They're going to try to keep you down. And you're going to have to outdo them with hard work. And whatever God gave you in between your head isn't enough. You know what they say, genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. You heard that? Well, let me tell you something. I'm the living embodiment of it. But so are millions of you out there. That was in my day. But no longer today. Today, before they get off the banana boat, me immigrant, you racist, I sue ACLU. Right away, boom. Right away, they want to go to the head of the class and push you in the back of the bus. That's the new immigrant in America today. Take a look at what's going on in Los Angeles. Take a look at what's going on in the city of Los Angeles and the state of California, what illegal immigrants have done, like a scythe through the state. Lied by the politicians, lie for them every day of the week. Take a look at the fact that 1/3 of all prisoners are illegal aliens. What are you going to do with that fact? Twist it? They didn't come here to work. They came here to rob, steal, rape, counterfeit, whatever they can get away with. Killing police, killing women, raping women, and running back across the border and laughing at you. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. You're a liar if you don't know the reality of it. And the politicians are the worst criminals of all, covering up for these criminals and liars. The politicians are gangsters. They're the godfather, every one of them. Every last criminal enterprise, fronting for drug dealers,